Pearlo and Larry talk NHL frolic. That's it. You're here. I change the title all the time. Yeah, we're going to talk about all the stuff that's going on right now. I have no life, man. This is what I love to do. This is what I do. This is what I think about all the time. So I don't know how many people are actually going to come on, and I don't care because I like talking to Larry. Larry's got great takes. Larry made a little mistake there, and I didn't even notice you made a mistake where you didn't realize that the 18 million was already on the cap on Puckpedia for Carlson, and I didn't even notice you made it. I got to go back and look at that video again and how I didn't notice it, but that's fine.
Well, my argument was like you can't afford them because there's no cap left.
Yeah, you were saying there's no cap left. I think we were going back and forth, and maybe I wasn't understanding why you thought that, and I just whatever. So
well, that's why I was leaning towards them not matching it. I'm like, there's no cap; they can't do it.
Right. Okay. That might have been. Yeah. That. Okay. I get it now. Yeah, I get it more now. I didn't get it when you were saying it before. I just thought maybe you were thinking like long term or something like that. But yeah, they do still have problems when they do that because they might get they signed Mintayukov today, and honestly, they have high hopes for him. Late he might start to develop in other areas of his game. I mean, his skill level is no doubt about it. Like you can't. He's sort of like Nemec. Right now. Still pretty raw as his overall game is concerned. Him getting that kind of money is just the way the NHL goes right now. If they hit it out of the park and he develops really well, then that's fine. But
I'm just like, when's the last time you'd see recently a 28-point guy? Or no, sorry, 22 points. He regressed it. He doesn't even have his highest point total ever. Get over 7 million. That's crazy. Fucking Jordan Spence got less. If you think about it, Jordan Spence got less.
Jordan Spence that was a sweet deal. That was a sweet deal already. Now it's looking real sweet. Rico, you're there already. Okay, there's if you want to jump on, dude. Not if you just want to listen in the chat, that's fine. I don't have your name on there today because I didn't think you were coming on. If you come on, I'll switch the title. That's you get. That's your gold star for coming on the show. I'll put you in the title.
Signing bonus.
Signing bonus. That's your signing bonus. Yeah.
You get your name put back in the original show title.
Right. So we were talking that, and I mean, this was pretty obvious anyways, that, likely Killorn or Vetrano, if they can, I doubt Kreider because Kreider has a full no move clause. And I think they did a lot of swindling and talking to get Kreider to come over to Anaheim. So I just have a feeling that you can say whatever you want. Maybe Verbika's tight. Maybe it's more ownership puts him in tight spots. Or I don't know how this is with him. But one thing I do get from him is he does honor his word. So, if they did a lot of finagling to get Kreider over there, I just have a feeling he's not going anywhere unless he wants to.
Rubik's gonna have to do a press conference when they decide to match or let him go. I wonder what that's gonna be like.
Yeah.
The questions he's gonna get asked, and he has to answer them politely and professionally. Where he wants to be like that.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a rivalry between these two teams for a while. For sure.
I could see him probably throwing a chair when he heard this offer sheet came in. Just like I can just see in the border throwing it against the wall. Like, kidding me?
Yeah. I wonder, if other teams know more, have a better idea of these things happening before the actual team. Sometimes, that's one part of the NHL I'd love to be able to dive into is, agents talk, agents know managers are doing this, that, or the other thing. It'd be interesting to see how many things, like I already mentioned with Chicago. I don't know if they knew that this was coming, but I think I heard. I think they probably had enough rumblings to think that this was coming. And I still say the Bowen Byram deal was their way of handshaking with Bedard to say, "Look, we're bringing your buddy here," because players really do have other players that they're very close to, and some money isn't every little thing with players. It's not every little thing. If they have an
No.
opportunity to play with close friends or something like that, it's important to them. Think about it. It'd be like, I'm pretty sure Bedard was talking to Bowen saying, "Oh, I'm so excited for you to come," and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he gets offer sheeted and they don't match. That would be
Yeah.
really shitty. It just doesn't seem like, it seems like that was kind of orchestrated a little bit.
Could be the same for Quinn Hughes in Minnesota too. You never know. Just be like, yeah, I'm looking to sign long term here, and then time comes. Yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna go to New Jersey.
I don't think so. I think he's signing there. Everything points to me that he's signing there.
It points, but you never know. Didn't you say players lie all the time?
Yeah, but not to each other. And Larkin doesn't do what he did if he doesn't think Hughes is signing there. They don't lie to their best friends like that, to close friends like that. And I don't think Larkin does that. I think he just stays in Detroit. Everything kind of lined up for him. I could be wrong on that. He could be going there whether Hughes is staying or not. It's possible, but I think all the stars were aligning for him to go, okay, I've got enough courage to do this.
Well, here's another angle to think about. So if his best friend is Hughes, what about the angle going into Jersey? Join the Hughes there. Because if he's good with one Hughes brother, they must be good buddies with all of them, or like to a point know them well.
Oh, for him, no. Again, all the stars aligning is that Minnesota is more in contender phase. And I think the big one is he has a very fatherly respect for Bill Guerin. And after going through what he's gone through with Stevie Y, which was at the very least not the healthiest relationship, because there's talk about them not even talking to each other. And if a person is having problems with their boss like that, it's almost certainly going to spill into your family life. And I think that even between him and his wife, it's a big priority for him to be able to know that the manager he's going to trusts him, and obviously picked him for the Olympics, that they have a relationship with him and they're comfortable that this is a great person to be part of an organization with. So he doesn't know Maida, he doesn't know whatever. I'm sure he hears his brothers or whatever. That, I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think that is less likely. And also, he has mentioned publicly that he going to New Jersey might take the shine off of his brother and what his desire is to be, and that is a number one go-to center in his life. That was another thing too.
I think it's more or less that I think playing together, it's all together. It's like three of them. I think that's bigger than just one person being better than the other. If all three of you got to play long term together, and obviously the ultimate pay is win a Stanley Cup together, which no real three sets of brothers was able to do. I don't think only two of the Sutter brothers won together once. Two of the Stalls have won together once. So it could be something that you wouldn't see.
I think it would be more likely it would go the other way around. He would draw people to Minnesota rather. I think that's a big reason why Fitzgerald was fired. There was some friction there. and they're
Yeah.
hoping that Maeda smooths that over.
Bill Guerin's doing a good job. Like, I still agree. I think Larkin does make more sense to Minnesota, but Minnesota needs to get what Detroit wants, or I don't think you're going to see a deal happen until that happens, or
I
it's
think
going to
it
be
goes right down
plan
to
B.
when the bell tolls, and then whatever the deal is there is what the deal will be. That's what I think is going to happen.
Or they just hand Larkin and say, okay, well, I guess you're coming back to camp not being the captain, or I
Yep.
have this deal on the table for you to go to Dallas or somewhere
No,
else.
I think this is. I posted this on Twitter. I think,
I saw, yeah.
yeah, 90. He's 90% Minnesota. 10% of his heart will go back to Detroit, and 0% anywhere else. It's that's what I believe is, and he's willing to face the music. He's willing to go there and get booed. He's willing to have all that happen. He's willing to do it. And I think Steve Yzerman is less willing to have that happen.
That puts him in a tougher spot, but also puts his family in a tough spot too.
Oh, really? They get to be in Michigan where they want to be. When it comes right down to it, that's what they want to do.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I do think, yes, it's obviously the most obvious destination for him, but I think there's got to be a plan B. There's a plan B. There has to be. You can't just go all in or nothing. Like,
I think
if
they're
you're
just very confident they're getting Larkin. I think they're very confident in it. And Guerin is offering low right now, like really low. And he's saying, like, he's doing it on purpose. He's saying nobody's going to beat this because he's not going anywhere else. And then as the summer goes on, when the crunch comes down, and so it's like always offer someone less to make more look good. In everything you do, if you can get people to expect less and then actually get more, it's the best negotiating tool you can do. So I think Guerin is putting it out there to say, in all honesty, all I have to do is give you your off, because nobody else is offering you anything. And you have to take Larkin back and figure out what you're going to do with that. That's all I got to do. So that's all you're getting right now. And then as it goes on, maybe Strommel the first or whatever, and he's working a 3-way deal. Then on the same note, though, Bill Guerin's going to start getting edgy. I mean, this is if there's one guy that's going to just play the ego game and take all the bullshit that could happen with Larkin coming back, Stevie Y's probably it. So he's got that on his side. In the end, I think it's going to be, a roster player of fair significance is going to be part of the deal, either 3-way or going to Detroit in the end.
They had made a couple other moves, so what was it? The trade? It was,
yeah. They
Blake
don't have
Coleman,
any cap space right now either. So roster players have got to move in the deal.
Olimata and Blake Coleman went there, so filling some depth. Mm-hmm. Maybe it is kind of an insurance thing, because maybe Bill Guerin's like, hey, like, Steve Yzerman might not be bluffing, and maybe he will keep him. And so I got to make sure I have something to put a team on the ice that's still good until maybe trade deadline, when I can move for that big piece if they can't get Larkin out of there.
Yeah, I think I haven't. I'll take
without Larkin, they're not bad right now. Like, it's doable.
They'll make the playoffs.
Yeah. So maybe trade deadline's more of a bigger, like, if this Larkin thing keeps going through, like, eventually Bill Guerin's gonna be like, if I need to win a Stanley Cup, and if I can't get Larkin out of there, then what's plan B? He's got to have a plan B.
Well, let's see here. I think he's only got 2 million as it stands, right?
1.1, but I think, yeah, you can move. Oh, you have to put a defenseman on waivers. And then they got some forwards they can send away. So yeah, they have about $2.5 million after they move some bodies.
Right. So a roster player.
Yurkov goes down. He's on a 2-way. Hunter height goes down. So then they run 7D because they'll lose one of waivers probably. So that frees up another 1.5. So they have about 2.6 million in cap. So yeah, they have to move.
I've been thinking it the whole time, and
Brodeen would have to go to have a chance to fit it.
And that's what I've been saying
and somebody
the whole time.
else.
That's what I've been saying the whole time.
So there's no way Minnesota's just offering Yurkov at this point, because then they screw themselves. Then they have to figure out something else and move somewhere else, another player. So you got Ryan Hartman, $4 million, 10-team no trade. You're not moving Marcus Foligno. You're not moving Eriksson Ek.
No. Boldy is what they're talking about now.
Trennan, maybe. You could move Trennan, maybe, but you need an upgrade, so I don't see you moving him. So yeah, it'd have to be Brodeen.
That's what I've been saying all along. Brodeen will be in a 3-way trade or something like that, and that's going to be the money that comes off the books, and then they'll have to use Mata as their third pair. And they got a kid down there. Can't remember his name now. He's almost ready. They'll probably play him on the 6th, and then, try to fill in that defense as they go. That's what I think. It's almost positive, because Brodeen doesn't have a no movement clause.
No. But yeah, it seems when Minnesota's already made peace with that trade on for Coleman and that, just to say, hey, like, we got some insurance here now.
I think they built around the fact that they are getting Larkin, so they need those guys for when Larkin comes in and Brodeen goes out. Just follow the breadcrumbs, and it kind of tells you that's what's going to happen here. It's just a case like a 3-way trade or something. I had that one with LA, and people said, "Oh, they don't need Brodeen." Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You so do.
And then
it was Edmondson and something. I can't remember.
And then if you're signing Quinn Hughes, he's gonna get the bag. Bobby Brink's gonna get a raise, not much, but he'll get something.
He already got it. Less. He took less. Next year.
I know. Next year I'm looking at. So Hartman, if you're gonna re-sign him, he's gonna get more than $4 million for sure.
It's hard
Blake
to say.
Coleman, you might not bring him back, depending. Nico Sturm, you probably want to bring back, but depending on what the price is, they're going to be tight for cap next year. Because when's what Quinn Hughes is going to get? He's going to get at least 14, right? 12 to 14.
He's getting more than that, probably. Yeah.
So then, what do you do for cap wise next year? Even if it goes
They
up
got
another
40-some million next year, I believe, didn't they? If I remember correctly. 40-some
But they have
million.
1, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 10 players signed with 40 million. If you sign Quinn Hughes to 18 million or 16 million, there you go. Now you're down over a third. So you have to remember that.
If he signs for 17, that's 35. So they got 19 million to fill the rest of their roster. Hartman, he takes
9 roster spots.
He takes cap-friendly deals constantly all the time.
He might not this time though. It's his last chance to make a good contract before.
He wasn't his last time. He could have signed for more. The guy just bleeds. That's why Hartman just won't be part of this deal. The guy just bleeds Minnesota. He's fucking. He doesn't seem to care about money or anything. But they signed 17. They have 45. What does that give them? 23 million.
I look at it. I don't know if Quinn Hughes is gonna have to take less if they want to build a team. Otherwise, Quinn Hughes and Kaprizov's gonna have to carry you.
23 million next year. So you
You
give
look at all the
6.
raises in the NHL, all the
You give 5 to Harmon. Brink is going to be probably, depending on, we don't know how good he's going to do this year. Maybe
he's got arbitration rights, so he's gonna get on the higher end. So yeah, depending what he does this year, but he's probably at least a $4.5 to $7 million player, depending on the season.
Coleman probably signs for 5, so that's 9. That's 20. That's got 10 more million to sign your bottom players. Oh yeah, you got the Spurgeon issue. I think at 36, I don't know what he'd get. I don't even know if you worry about it.
Well, unless he wants to go, they'll sign him. Maybe take something a little bit cheaper, but won't be much cheaper.
Yeah,
it'll be in the $5 to $6 million range, or they do what Florida does and sign him to an 8-year fucking contract, and he retires. His contract's done when he's 40.
And the other thing they're probably going to do is Gustafsson will be traded after he gets back. They don't need Gustafsson at Wallstat. That's $6.8 million somehow. Whatever they could use it to fill a
I didn't
roster
look at
spot.
I didn't look at the contract for Marchand. That is it all front loaded with signing bonuses? Retirement makes even more sense if it's front loaded with signing bonuses. Then when there's 2 years left, it's just straight salary almost. You just
Who's that? Who?
like Marchand. I'm thinking the guys that like Marchand and Gudis, when they sign those, I'm wondering how front loaded they are.
Probably pretty heavily front loaded, yeah.
Because they could retire and then they've got most of their money anyway.
Yeah, they get most of their money anyways. Yeah. Yeah. This is smart business right here, man. Smart business. Front load, old guys, they get all their money anyways. And
if they can't retire because the money still counts towards the cap because they signed it after 35. So they would have to buy him out.
Yeah, buy him out still. But they got most of their money anyways. But they got most of their money anyway, so it doesn't matter. Ken Mizrahi, soccer is now your favorite sport? Okay. Other sports would never.
Brazil is out today in soccer. I was watching that game at work. I'm like, is this actually happening? I'm like, wow. That was a great game.
I'm pretty positive no other sport would take over hockey for me, but I purposely don't pay attention to other sports much because hockey takes up enough of my life as it is. I don't need to go into anything else.
Imagine if we had the announcers from soccer and hockey. That would be insane.
Oh, yeah.
That's what hockey needs. The guys are just like crazy announcers when a goal goes off.
Yeah, but the only thing is things they can save their voice until something actually happens. In hockey, they'd be screaming the whole freaking game.
Some of them did, but not some of the announcers. I'm drawing a blank. The guy from Buffalo that.
Oh yeah. Love him, and I'm not very good with broadcasters, but I should remember his name because that's Ian's favorite. It's the reason why he's a Buffalo fan.
Or was it? I gotta look. Oh, Rick.
Generette.
Yeah, he was great. I loved watching Buffalo games just because he called it. It made it so entertaining. And so many legendary calls, too. When I first started watching hockey, I remember it was one of my first games, and I remember when Pat LaFontaine would score like Pat LaFontaine.
Yeah, Rick Generette. I don't know why I forget names in general. So that being said, there was that, what if Anaheim does not sign or does not accept the 4 first-round draft picks? What happens if take the 4 first-round draft picks, and we had the possibility that, well, one of those guys, well, somebody's got to go there in Philadelphia. Somebody's got to go. And it seems like the easy out, which isn't easy because I love the guy, but if he is, it's probably Tippett. And I sent it to you immediately, like, because you were talking about it, Tippett.
I'd love Tippett, but yeah, it's hard to move him out of there. But if he's available, there's going to be 20 plus teams saying, "What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?"
Philadelphia guy, I did the trade. I didn't even think about it too much. I just said, is it Hensler
and Greg? And I was like,
Greg, yeah. And
done.
the guy came on and
right
said, "We're stacked on the right side. We don't need Hensler." And you're probably right, but I think it can be done. Like somebody put Holiday and 2 firsts.
Sure, if they want Holiday, go for it.
Holiday and 2 firsts. 2 firsts.
We can sign it. We can get a fourth line centerman. That's easier to find.
Well, what about the 2 firsts? You okay with that?
Depending on which 2 firsts, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what you're getting for Tippett. If you look at their roster, I'm not sure they're looking for players in return in that deal. They're just looking to get cap space.
Well, they need a body for sure. Like you can't just.
Holiday would be good. I mean, like I'm talking about big players. They're stacked after they get Carlson. They're pretty young. They already are having a hard time getting price time for Michkov. So I think Holiday. I like Holiday a lot. I really think he's got a lot of upside. If there's any weakness, is their 4th line center, and they get the 2 firsts that they can use to improve if they have injuries, or they can use them to keep that pipeline going down in the bottom. So
I'd do either one, 2 firsts for Tippett or Holiday in a heartbeat. Tippett's worth it.
Even if we got Holiday and 2 firsts.
Because what you have to remember about is right now Ottawa's just entering that win now window. In a couple of years, they're going to be in that win now for a few 2-3 years. So where they're going to be really good, and if you can get an own Tippett, that's going to be more valuable than 2 firsts that are going to take 3 to 4 more years to develop after you draft them before they do anything. So I would take Owen Tippett now and give up 2 firsts.
Yeah.
Depending on the firsts.
Yeah, you could do top 10 protected or something like that.
Give them Florida's first that they gave us 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know which ones that they would be into, but
you'll get one good first.
I can do that. Sure. Go ahead. Just Jordan's asking for Holiday's player cards. Oh, sure. Okay.
Holiday, yeah. He's didn't play much, so it's not going to be much. He played lower competition, but defensively, he should be okay. Point-wise, he'll be okay. Like, he's just going to be low, but he's a big guy.
I've seen it before, but I don't really... which one do I have? Oh, I have Ristolainen up there right now. Because somebody was saying Zub for Ristolainen. I'm like, it's pretty much lateral.
No, we're not trading Artis Zub. Not a chance.
I think that's a lateral trade. Ristolainen has become about as good as Zub, and he's bigger, but Zub has different skills or all that kind of stuff like that.
Zub and Sanderson work so well together. You're not touching that unless you can't.
Both of them have had injury issues. Like it's very lateral.
Zub's been more concussion based, but this year wasn't too bad. It was hurt a little bit.
In the playoffs, that was a big one.
Zub. Yeah, but
what was I looking up? Holiday?
Not Roy Halladay.
Oh, 0 competition. What the heck? How do you do that?
It's not. No, he just played very little, but he definitely he was on the second line for a little bit, so he was playing against some kind of good some competition, but yeah,
I don't know what
zero's
this
not right.
competition thing is all about. This must be because they didn't have enough data to give a number. Because
They didn't have enough data. Yeah.
It's impossible to have zero competition.
Yeah. So
But
yeah, like I said, in the mid for defense, offense.
he's got 99% goal. But that's what I like about him is he does have a hell of a shot. Like he really does. For a guy who plays on the lower lines. And he's only 24. I don't know. I was just mostly going off of eye test. I liked what I saw from the guy. From what I saw.
Big Red.
I think he's got a lot of I think he's got a lot of upside in the sense that he'll be an NHL player for sure. And I like his intensity. I like a lot. I like him. I just think he's a good player.
Noah McCann, Jordan, Lafreniere, or Tippett. I'd be happy with either one, but we need a Tippett more than a Lafreniere.
We need a tip. Everybody needs a Tippett more than a Lafreniere.
Yeah. I would rather go Shane Wright at buy low, and hope he becomes Kyle Turris 2.0. I think he has a good chance to break out when he gets moved to another team. The guy might have been a little bit high on himself, but then I think he's come down to earth. And
is that right?
Shane Wright? Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Nah.
Shane Wright was a little high on himself at the beginning, and I think that's kind of why he dropped.
He's risky, and he's still high on himself. He hasn't changed.
Well, I think
you're going to need to humble the kid. He thinks he should be playing top six, and he hasn't been able to handle bottom line yet.
We have to think that's
although he has improved defensively every single year against the lower competition, so that's a good sign. But
you have to remember too, like when I think of that, it just screams Kyle Turris in Phoenix. Like he was upset, wasn't getting what he wanted there, and when he came to Ottawa, he became a whole different player.
I would say Kyle Turris was looking better in Arizona than Wright is looking in Seattle, though, when they made the deal. Yeah, he was an arrogant kid. There's no doubt about that. But I think he was looking better.
He was arrogant. He's young, but people that talk to Kyle Turris now, he's like a very kind, down earth guy.
Yeah, he grew up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And probably Stephen will Wright, not Stephen, but Wright will too. Tyler Wright probably will too. So I don't know. Shane Wright, but he's not going. But he is not as good as a player on the ice as Turris was in Arizona. That's the thing. He's not as good as.
But it's very similar.
You're expecting
both high draft picks. Both came onto a team where they basically didn't have that spot to be a top line player or top six, and Turris just took it further.
You only have to beat out Chandler Stevenson, dude. That's all you got to do is beat out Chandler Stevenson.
True.
And he's not beating out Chandler Stevenson. That was the whole point of Seattle. Their model is to get guys like what's happened in San Jose. They got Trouba and Nurse. Everybody's upset. In their minds, we know that they're not top centers. We don't want to take a spot from our young defenseman, top defenseman, I should say. We don't want to. We want our young defensemen. They have to be able to beat out Nurse or Trouba, or they won't get that top spot. So that's what and that's what Seattle's model is too. Yeah, we're paying a shitload for Chandler Stevenson because he's a spiritual guru in the room. That's why I call him the spiritual reach around guy. He's apparently an incredible motivator and great for young players and all that. But on the ice, you got to be able to beat him out. If you can't, you're not getting the minutes. And he's mad because he's saying, I'm better than him already. And I'm sorry, you're not. You're not better than him already. And now he's asking for a trade.
So, can you bring up Shane Wright's card? I just want to see his.
Yeah, sure.
Do you get the year over year or only the last year?
3 years. This is a 3 year. Now,
Holiday, 3 year. Okay,
you don't get the 3. You don't get the 3 year with Holiday. Yeah, we.
I feel like with him, his competition would have increased. So he did get more minutes over the years.
20%. It's not very good. He's playing against low lines and he's struggling. He's struggling. He's not hitting out of the park. Now, again, there are reasons for that. He could be sulking because of his immaturity and not putting it out there. I think it was McCann who said one of the things he said in an interview just recently is our young players have to take things more serious. So for young players, sometimes it's hard to grasp what you have to do to be an NHLer, and that's why they bring in Stevenson. That's why they bring in these guys, because they are showing them what it means to be a professional. Even you can say whatever you want about. I can say whatever I want. I shouldn't put you in there, but about Sherratt in Detroit, I mean, I think he's not a good defenseman on the ice, and I don't think that's wise. But apparently, he's a very strong professional off the ice. Like, he is meticulous and a health nut and all of those things like that. And he's very good for young players to show them what to do to become better. So if this kid's not, 22 now, if they feel like they lost the script or he's lost the script or isn't in the back or is just plain outright saying, I want out because I think I'm better than blah, 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 whoever's getting him is buyer beware.
Yeah.
He's got playmaking ability. It's not that he doesn't have skill, but really, he's not knocking it out of the park against lower competition, and he's complaining about not getting ice time, and they're like, we'll give it to you when you're performing well against lower competition. Just makes sense.
I think when they got Bobby McMahon, that's kind of like they want to give it to put him right where Shane Wright's spot would be. So it just makes sense for him to move on because there's the writing's on the wall. Is like you're not going to get the ice time that you want.
Yeah. When they signed McMahon, that pretty much. I mean, Wright was playing center, right? So it didn't really take his spot, but like you got to be able to beat Chandler Stevenson out. I mean, and that shouldn't be impossible to do if you're going to be a guy who's a second line center. That's their model. That's the way they work. They don't just gift young players spots. And there's a philosophy that goes both ways. The people say, well, if you gave him an opportunity to do it, he would have more confidence and then he would be more successful. Now, if there's a general manager that thinks that about Shane Wright and they are correct, they probably got a good one. It's hard to say.
I think there's more to him. Like I said earlier, I think Winnipeg should be all over this. Buy low, get a guy that come in. Like I think that's the perfect player for him. Like I don't know what Winnipeg's waiting for at this point. Like give them a first round pick and something.
I don't know. I want to give them a first. That's probably what they're waiting for. I don't want to be. Winnipeg can't afford to be throwing around first like that on a risky player.
But you have control of him for a while. It's not like he's gonna leave in the next year or two.
Yeah, but
so you're getting a first, and if you can get Shane Wright's value up, you could flip him for more if you didn't want to be in Winnipeg. So you're gonna get that first back one way or another.
I agree, it's a good spot. I don't think they're getting more than a second from anybody for Shane Wright.
I think they get a first. They'll get a first for him. Somebody will give him a first.
I doubt it very, very much. Very, very much. If anybody if they could get a first for him, he'd be gone already. Gone.
Well, the reason why he's worth a first is because he's got upside still, and his cap hits under $1 million this year. That's what the first is worth. You can put him on any team pretty much at under $1 million.
I think there's an understanding around the league that this kid's got an attitude problem, and he hasn't progressed very well. So he's wanting out. So teams have the leverage.
That's not every story though. Like, so look at Kyle Turris. He sat out. He's like, trade me or I'm not.
They didn't get much for Turris. What did they get for him?
second rounder or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. That's about what you're
But
getting.
I don't remember Kyle Turris trade. I can't remember now. Everybody was like, why'd we
And
get that
again,
bum?
Turris had more
Oh,
skill.
David Rundblad in a second round pick. That was
Yeah.
what it was. And Rundblad
Turris
didn't
had more
do
skill
anything.
than Shane Wright. Turris was a more skilled player than Shane Wright. So, attitude problem with more skill. Shane Wright doesn't have that kind of skill. Shane Wright projects to be like 40-point defensive center, and he could be very good at that. That's
Do you know what turned around Kyle Turris? Is he played with Daniel Alfredsson when he first traded there, and Alfredsson said, "You want to be an NHLer? Here's what you got to do." And he took him under his wing, and he wouldn't have the career he had without him, I don't think. And he's thanked Alfredsson so many times about it, just saying like that guy cared about his players, cared about his team, cared about everybody on it. And like you see Alfredsson out there with the players still these days, playing keep away at the end of practice, and
but for every Turris, I can probably name 4 players that didn't do that.
Correct.
That had the attitude problem and didn't do that. That's why I'm not giving up a first. Odds are this kid ends up not being a Turris.
Well, so Ottawa gave up Rundblad, who was a first round pick, and a second. So he gave up basically a chance player like Turris, who was like a 20th overall pick or whatever it was, and he gave up a second. So I feel like it'd be something similar. If you're not giving up a first, it's a second and a player.
I think they get a second for him. That's what I think. Maybe a B prospect or something. Maybe, but
it'll be a second.
I don't think teams are scrambling to get this kid. I don't think they'll say, "Hey," they're calling up saying, "Look, we'll give this kid a shot, but I'm not throwing a wad at him." You got, I mean, they have very good character players there. They have Eberle, they have Stevenson, they have McCann, they brought in as much as I don't like him as a player on the ice, Lindgren is a great character player. Larson is fantastic character. Not good on the ice either, but character, yeah. These guys are true professionals. If they weren't able to get Shane Wright, it's pretty tough for me to think, for other teams to think that they've got the magic elixir.
Yeah, Turris was third overall, and the argument is Shane Wright was supposed to be first overall, but he dropped because of
his
attitude issues.
Yeah, and they still have him years later. He still has him. So it's not looking good for Seattle, man.
I don't think it's as bad though. Like I haven't heard anything about like him like saying like I don't see him arguing with the coaches or anything. I think he's putting in the work. I don't think he's sitting there trying to float by.
When you got guys like McCann saying our young players have to take things more seriously, who do you think he's talking about?
To a point, but it might not just be him. Like
it just seems very likely that it is. That's what I'm saying.
If you look at him playing, so you look at him playing in the first year in the NHL, he got his first 8 games, and then he went down into the Firebirds and then I guess he got injured or something like that. I don't know. He only played 8 games, and then next year he played. Oh, he went to Windsor. Oh, he went back to Windsor, and then he was playing Firebirds, and then playing Seattle. That's why. But he went to the AHL. He tore up the AHL. Like he went in there and got 47 points in 59 games, and then the last couple of years, like last year, he regressed.
Yep.
His time on ice was about the same, but his shooting percentage shot down. I want to know who his wingers were this year. Did he have a chance to actually score? Was he playing with shit wingers this year? Because like you can't expect a centerman to get a lot of points if your wingers are crap and nobody can finish.
Well, I mean, I'm not really looking at the point production. I'm looking at the skill level based on
but that is important too, because a player is like, if you want me to succeed, you gotta give me a natural shot. You can't put
But
freaking.
that's actually points on the board. I don't look at that as much. Just like people say that, oh, defensemen can't be judged by their points. You're right. They can to a certain degree, but I'm talking about how much he drives play. Like I said, the one encouraging thing with him is every year he has progressed defensively, even though it was against lower competition. And he's an above average playmaker, and he's got a good shot. Like, he's got skills.
Yeah.
There's bones there that you can work with, but his overall game is just not progressed.
But the part is, so like, if I look back at
as
his
they
old
would have
stats, this guy is usually got a shooting percentage like above 20%. Like,
Mhm.
this guy can score. Why
Yeah,
last
he's
year
got the ability to score.
He dipped to 12.4%. Every other year before that, he's in the 20s. In one year, in 23-24 Seattle, he's played 8 games, but scored 4 goals. Like, this guy can score. So why'd he dip so much last year? That's what I want to know. That's why I want to dig deeper and see.
Well,
like,
he's an anchor for the teammates he plays with, not the other way around. That's one thing. So yes, somebody picks him up, puts him on the top line, he'll get 40 points, and everybody will say, "Oh, Shane Wright is great." See, if he's able to maintain his physical presence against top competition. That's a big if. I highly doubt he can. But if he is able to maintain that, he'll get 40 points, but he's a shit player still. I don't care how many points you got. I don't.
Well, no, but look at it. You said his defense is increasing. So how is he an anchor? He's actually doing better on ice compared to years before. So like in the D zone, he's doing better.
Well, not just D zone, probably
He's
overall.
playing PK. Look, his PK is 71%.
This would judge overall defensive play has gotten better all the way through. No doubt about that. But I don't still an anchor for his teammates in every other way. So,
but if you play him with lower competition, like that's lower players that can't really make him, or complementary players. You need guys that can
if you play him with top players, he's going to look better to the eye test. You're right, but he's still not going to be a great player.
No, not even that.
Like, player, but he will look better to the eye test, and he will have more points on his stat sheet.
It works both ways. So, like, an example is Ridley Gregg. Like, on the third line, he played the first season or last couple seasons before in the third line. He looked really good. He got pushed to the second line this year. His 5-on-5 points was good, but defensively he didn't look good and everything. Like, he's not a second line player.
He got pushed up against higher competition and he struggled.
Yeah, he's not a second line player.
He will struggle in every way but offense. No. If you get him in the offensive zone, he's going to help the offense pot a couple for sure. But the rest of his game is enough of a liability that his offense doesn't make up for it. Even though he's getting better. He's getting better in the defensively all the way through. Against top comp, if you put him against top comp, you're not going to see better defensively. You're going to see.
Well, you don't know that because he doesn't really play it. They don't give him a chance.
Know that because you watch him play and know that. You have to know that. You can't just throw kids up there and say, "Let's see." No, you already know how he is against lower.
That's the same argument when they're just like, you can't play a rookie goalie in the playoffs because he's never played in there. You don't know.
No, he's not different. Goalies are a different thing altogether.
But I'm just saying it's the same kind of thing.
Because he's really good defensively here, because against 20% competition, maybe you bump him up against bigger lines next year. But you're not playing him against top comp. Maybe you bump him up a little bit. Take it easy. This guy is probably a slow burn because of his attitude. If his attitude breaks, he could be very good. Yeah, absolutely.
Pull Shane right up on edge stats on NHL. So, like, he's actually a pretty above average skater.
Yeah, skill-wise, he's fine.
Hardest shot, yeah, it's not there. Well, you just said he wasn't as skilled. Like
skill
this guy,
wise, he's not bad. He's got a good play, but he's not a good play driver at this against low competition. And defensively, he has just moved up to above average against low competition. So you can give him, you got to ask him, what type of player do you want to be? Like,
now I'm
what type
curious.
of player do you want to be?
Where is?
And he's getting lower minutes. That tells me that there may be a conditioning problem here too. And that would be a big thing. Usually guys with attitude problems aren't really doing the work they need to in the off the ice. So that could have something to do with it. And if they're arrogant, they think they don't have to. I'm just better than that person.
Let's see his I'm tempted now. I want to see who he played with most of the year. Now I'm curious. I just want to see.
I was going to look that up.
Okay, so we got Wright. We played 109 minutes with Cadden and McCann. Not that good. Kako and Cadden, 110 minutes. That's about it.
Yeah.
Is that like McCann might be nice to have, but McCann and Cadden. I don't even know who Cadden is. I've never even heard of him, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, the rookie. The rookie. Yeah. The rookie.
And Kako and Cadden.
And he played with Kako, who is their second line right wing. Nothing wrong with that.
For 100 minutes in the season. And he still produced. Like, I want to know. I wish I would break it down more. Puck or Lenny Puck could, where he got all his points with. I guess you can go by game. But I bet you if I'm looking up on Money Puck. Money Puck does it where you can see the time different players have played together with for the season and what their expected goals for and all that stuff. Because when you look at
13 minutes a game, and he had 1 minute, just over 1 minute of power play time, and he pulled 13 and a half minutes a game, which is basically like third line minutes, but they gave him some decent guys to play with. But I mean, nobody was knocking out of the park point wise here. I don't think 27 points for a 22-year-old in this team is all that bad as far as point production is concerned. It's his overall game in general that is a problem against top competition at 22. If you put him up, try to play him up. Like, okay, if you play him with really good players, but you're not putting him up against really good players, he's going to get points. If you use him in a sheltered way where he plays with really good players when like third and fourth liners are on the ice, good for you. You play him against shutdown lines, this guy's going to get absolutely screwed.
So here's a stat here. Think of it this way. So if Money Puck's right, which I think they are, so Shane Wright, when you look at it, he's on two lines. The lowest he can go is minimum time 100 ice minutes together, or 100 minutes together on the ice. So if he played 13 minutes a night times, how many games did he play? For the stats, Shane Wright played 74, so 13 minutes a night on average times 74. That's 962 minutes of ice time he had. If you minus over 100 minutes he was with McCann, so 109 minus then with with Kako 110. Where's the other 743 minutes? So was he jumped around in the bottom lineup having different partners every single night? Because how is he only on those two over 100 minutes? So now when you look at that, is that fair to say that he could have had a really good year if he had that many different lines? Like, he was just getting jumbled together with whatever it puts at the bottom. So how do you expect him to have a good season with that? He doesn't have regular line mates.
My guess is that people didn't like playing with him. That's my guess. I think this is more of an attitude thing than anything. That
But then
another reason
also,
why you don't get minutes is if you're a whiny bitch to the coach. He's not going
I
to give you minutes just for that alone.
see. I can't say I've watched many Seattle games this year because I can't watch them all. It's impossible. But I don't remember recalling seeing him yelling at the coach or
Oh
whining
no,
on the
no, he
bench or
doesn't. He's
whatever.
not that kind of guy. But you don't necessarily see it on the ice either.
No, but if you're in the heat in the moment and
I've
you're that type
watched
of
I
player,
watched
you're
a
gonna
bunch of them. He didn't play with all that much intensity compared to the other his teammates. That's for sure.
like. Can we agree that if you see those numbers, that was Shane Wright, regardless if we don't know if he's like a super whiny player and the coach hated him or something, or could be the coach that hated him. Was he given the best opportunity to produce this year?
I just see a whole bunch of red flags. That's what I see. I see a whole bunch of red flags. So if you're bringing the guy in, you got to be honest with him right off the bat. You got to say, we're going to give you a shot here, but we see a whole lot of red flags. So you got to prove us wrong.
Yeah,
And
like
I
I
would
think
even
it's
tell them, this is what we heard. And I don't even want to hear your answer to what this is true. This is what we've heard about the situation that was going on in Seattle. That could be absolutely not true. I don't care. I don't want to hear what you have to say. All I want to do is see it on the ice. We heard that you're not committing to training in the off season. So
what
what are you going to do to prove to us that you're doing that? That's what I want. Before I even acquire the guy, I can talk to his agent, say, this is what we expect out of this kid. This is what I expect if we're going to trade for him right now. And I don't want to hear anything of it. I don't want to hear his mouth. I don't want to hear his words. I don't want to care. All I want to see is action and him proving it to me. That's what I want to see. If he's not willing to do that, don't bother. I'm not ponying up a second round pick if he's not willing to find a way to prove to me that he's going to do these things. That's the way I'd be looking at here. And if that guy's like, whatever, blah, 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 then guess what? I'm not ponying up that second.
it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely there, but I think that you also have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't put in a spot to succeed.
Possibly,
Also,
but I want to know I have my reasons to why he wasn't given the put. I'm looking at it could be two ways. The coach is really stupid and kept on giving you different line mates, or it could be that nobody wants to play with you. I don't know which one it is, so I need you to prove to me which one it is. That's all that matters. That's when you're being totally honest with the player, right? Like, prove to me that whatever it is, that everything I heard is wrong. And tell me how you're going to prove that to me. And if it's wrong, that'll be easy for you, right? If it's not, you're going to scoff. So it's tough. Like, that is what's out there on this guy. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. But that's what's out there on this guy. Pettersson, what's out there on this guy is the reason they can't move him. And it's so far out there, their actual managers are saying it in public. So
yeah,
that's more than a red flag. That's like, wah, 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 wah. Huge alarm. Huge alarm. Nobody's trading for that guy. Same reason.
the good news is I think with the coach change they put with Malhotra there, I get it where the personal life he cares about more outside, but Manny Malhotra used to be on that team. He's a born leader and probably a hell of a coach because he's in the NHL now. So I give him that.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a player's coach. So he might sit down and say, hey man, like whatever personal life, I get it. I dealt with it. I went through it. I know it. The minute you step in this building, it's hockey. The minute you step outside this building, it's your time. It's your family time. I don't care. So I think maybe you kind of set that line for him, saying, if you're not committed to hockey here, I'll sit you.
Yeah. I mean,
And you're
Vancouver fans think that Foote was a bad coach. He wasn't a bad coach.
no.
And the players outside of Pettersson loved him. So I don't know.
I still blame Miller for this.
I don't. I blame Pettersson for all of this. I was on the anti-Miller side at one time. Because Pettersson was just so good. I was like, he's got to be just being an asshole. I was like that for a while. Rico and I were on here saying they got to keep Pettersson for a while, but the more I went through it, I'm like, you know what? I don't know anymore. I'm watching this guy. He doesn't have the drive he had before. He doesn't. Is it all because Miller is that much of an asshole, really? Or is Miller being an asshole because he kind of is one, but he has a right to be in this sense? Not a right to be, it's just something that he's going to do. And that's what it seems like it turns out to be. He's old school, kind of, what do you call that type of male, whatever, what's like guys that are like heavy in working out stuff. What do they call them? Growly type guys, soldier type guys. They call them
Sure.
something A, whatever.
Asshole.
Alpha. I don't know what it is because I'm certainly not it. Alpha.
No.
He's like an alpha type dude. Doesn't, quit being a bitch. And Pettersson just cowered under it, got mad, kind of got a big head or something, like all kinds of stuff. All went to all in one.
I'm gonna try and find it. There's a video on YouTube, I think it was, and one guy who's like a hockey nerd, he broke down Elias Pettersson's game, and he talked about how like he went through a bunch of clips and proved it. He's like, here's when Pettersson was a 100-point player and what he was doing. You could just see it was just like bang, 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 bang. He was on it. And then as he started declining, you just seen hesitation. He's showing like, this is not the Elias Pettersson you saw. He hesitates. He's not confident.
Yeah.
He's trying not to be selfish. He's like, I'd rather give it to a teammate than to screw up. Like, I think it's.
And he's also not getting into his spots. And he doesn't look physically as strong as he did 3 years ago. And there's a good reason for that. He came into camp 2 years in a row out of shape. That's going to affect your confidence right there if you come in out of shape.
This is the first year they don't have to do physicals either when they come into camp.
Well, that's crazy. Just getting out of hand, man. Like, what do you mean you don't need to do physicals?
You don't need to do physicals, but they'll still do them in a way.
You have a choice to. Is what it is, I would imagine.
Yeah.
This has got to be this has got to be the Patrick Lyon name there.
You got a choice, but if you don't want to do the physicals, here's one way we can tell how good shape you are: suicides. See how many suicides you can do before you drop on the ice and can't go no more.
If you don't want to do a physical, all the teammates are going to hate you because they're going to get bag skated for days. And you're gonna get bag skated for days. So it's
you think you're in good. If you say, "Oh, I'm in good shape," oh, you think you're in good shape? Okay, well, after practice, come see me, and we'll make sure you're in good shape.
They won't do it as an individual thing. They'll do it as a team thing, and then the teammates will be like, "You fucking asshole, take the fucking physical. If you're out of shape, we're having to deal with it because of your bullshit." That's what they do. They let the players beat them up.
There's some coaches out there that would be like, yeah, you're going to run suicides. And, the first person that quits on me is off the team.
Right.
So better not be you or
stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Just like, let's see how far you can go. Because I think that's what'll happen. Like, if you're not going to do a physical, they'll find out another way.
They'll find out. Yeah. Quite often you already know just by looking at them.
You can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with Michkov. I swear to God, it was really close that Michkov didn't even make league minimum. That's how bad it was. Now, the fact that kid still got the points he did and everything that he did in that case shows you that he's one hell of a talented kid. And I think from what I understand, when he went to the Olympics, or when he didn't go to the Olympics for that time, he just crushed it in the gym. So I think he's going to crush it all this summer. And that kid's going to I'm taking him over his points for betting. I think that kid's going to crush it. He just made a mistake, whatever it was. I think he got in trouble in Dubai too and stuff like that. He got his
I think
money
so,
and
yeah.
things got a little out of hand. You know, you get the ladies, you're having a good time. Oh, I'll work out in another month or whatever. I'm not putting the kid down. I would do the same thing. It's just he made a mistake. So as long as he turns it around and gets back in shape again, it'll be fine. But Pedersen is
somebody,
going a little long here. This isn't just one whatever. Yeah.
what was did you see the article from a couple weeks ago that apparently there was two guys hang in a cab or something in Florida with Kuznetsov, and they're like, oh, they're doing coke. It's like,
Oh, is that right?
spotted. Just let me see with two. It was just recently. I don't remember what it was.
I'll tell you what. That's funny that you mentioned that because there has been talk already of Kuznetsov being quite a partier. It's always been.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But guess
Was
where
it?
he's going? Guess where he's going now? He's going to Camp Crosby.
Is it? What was it? I saw a thing. I don't remember what it was. It was just recently. Jordan, did you see that? With the Kuznetsov, he was like in a cab with spending time with there.
I didn't see that. I know that, but that I've heard it already about him before. I don't usually. I take all that stuff with a grain of salt because.
No, there was
I
like a
mean,
video, like a picture of him in the cab with
well,
these other
then
two
yeah,
guys.
then that definitely tells you. Like,
So he was hanging out with somebody else. I was trying to.
are you talking about Kuzi? Like from Washington, Kuznetsov? That's what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did coke for sure. Now it wasn't just in a cab. They had a picture of him in a room somewhere. He had the plate up, and there was like rolled up $100 bills with a big smile on his face, and it got on social media for fuck's sakes. That Kuzi is well known for his party and shit like
yeah.
that. Absolutely. I was thinking of. I'm sorry. I heard the wrong thing. The guy that just went to Pittsburgh. I heard rumors of him in that regard too, but I mean they're just rumors, so I don't know for sure. But the Brown teams, it makes me think that there is a possibility that maybe he doesn't.
Let
He
me go
jumps. He went
images.
from Calgary to Pittsburgh Calgary to
Or Mike got the wrong player. Is it not?
Vancouver to LA. Kuzmenko, Andre Kuzmenko is who I was thinking of.
Maybe that was who it was. Crap. Now I wish I just freaking sent that to you. Usually I see things, I send it, and I forgot to. Was that work scrolling? I'll try to find that. Or just like, yeah, you shouldn't be hanging around.
Anyways, that was just recently because he's already had the when he was in Washington, he already had that. He got suspended,
100%.
I think.
And wasn't that the Olympics too?
Probably. He
Wasn't
hasn't
it
changed
him?
much. Because he's in the KHL now, right?
Yeah.
He tried to come back, but nobody wants him because he hasn't changed a bit. That's what I heard. It was actually Jimmy Murphy that told me that. Jimmy Murphy, there was talk about him going to Montreal. Jimmy Murphy knows everything about that Atlantic division. He's a pretty good insider for that. And he said, nah, he hasn't changed a bit. He's not going to Montreal. Yeah.
I'll look at that. Yeah, those guys, they just you can't really hide it. Like Grant Fuhr was probably the biggest partier and coke
No,
user of the
I
NHL.
wouldn't say that. Grant Peer was just the one that got caught. I was a bartender in Edmonton at the time in the trendiest nightclub in Edmonton. Yeah, no.
Out.
Mark Messier was a freaking crazy fuck, man. Holy shit! I don't know how that guy played as much as he did. Semenko had a nameplate on the end of a bar with not Huddy Brown, and they had their own nameplate at David's Lounge. They used to pile beer cans in front of them and make like big. They drink like 30, 40 beer and then go to and play the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys were partiers.
Well, we heard all those. I've heard all those stories. So David Semenko's son Jason lived in Dryden, and he used to bowl and everything. So he'd tell those stories to other people, and then everybody would get to know as like some of the craziest things that you'd see. Don't hear that, like he wouldn't tell probably anything that was like, I never want to shame my dad, but you could tell there was some partying going on.
Yeah, well, Dave went to rehab when he got traded to Toronto. He stopped drinking when he got traded to Toronto. And then he came back to Edmonton and he got a job with the Oilers doing something. And we were doing his landscaping. And I talked to him all the time. So he was sober after he went to Toronto. He said he had to. He said, my body was breaking down. I had no choice. I had to stop.
Of course, 100%.
Crazy how those players are. Look at Theo Fleury, man. That guy, imagine if that guy was sober. That guy was insane. And he drank every day. Every day.
But you have to remember all the crap he went through, too. So,
yeah, of course. I know. Yeah. I mean, he had a tough life. No doubt about it. He went through that. And, of course, he used alcohol to appease himself with whatever. And still was 140-point player. So, he was freaking crazy. That guy. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I didn't know all that was happening, but Theo Fleury is one of my top 10 faves of all time for sure.
Yeah, I liked him. I got to sit in one of his. He came to our high school, and I was in high school, and it was kind of cool to see that. And he talked about. It's like, we don't sugarcoat things here. I'm going to tell you as it is. There's swearing that's going to happen. I'm just being real. I'm going to be real.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great.
Yeah, I've never met the guy, but I hear it is.
I never have to talk to him, but just listening to talk, like you can just tell the pain and the suffering he went through, and you're just like, holy crap, I feel bad for this guy. He's still not in the Hall of Fame, which is shocking.
I know. I've listened to his. Stupid. I listen, and you know what? Like people talk about who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, if Theo Fleury is not in the Hall of Fame, there is no Hall of Fame. Shut up.
Well, I think the reason why he hasn't gone in is
I'm very
all
offended by any a little by that. Politics or some.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. But it's kind of coming out. It's clearing up now, like what happened, and so maybe that puts it more back on the radar to get him in.
He'll probably get in there. I think he got a window where it ends, right? Where you can't get put in anymore. But
is there? No, like people die and they end up.
Isn't there?
In the Hall of Fame.
No.
What's his name? Willie O'Reilly got
into
the Hall of Fame.
Time after you retire?
No, Willie O'Reilly got put in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think that might have been a special thing that they did. I think he got an exemption. Willie O'Reilly.
What was it? Yeah, who else is the other one? I was trying to think. Oh yeah, McGinley finally getting in the Hall of Fame. It took him so long too. He finally got inducted last year.
Like Jerome McGinley?
No, Alexander McGinley.
McGinley. Well, McGinley, apparently it's because he didn't care. He told
Oh
him,
no, yeah, he said I won't show up. I don't care about it, and
yeah.
like you got to show up for the event. You're being honored as hockey's best, and you're
He
just
didn't,
like, I don't give a shit. Well, maybe we don't want to honor this guy then if he
yeah.
doesn't give a shit. Like,
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. If the guy really doesn't care, then, maybe put in somebody who does care. I do kind of understand that with McGinley. But they eventually put him in. Maybe as he got older, he was like, you know what, guys, I've been kind of an asshole about this. I should be honored to be in there. Maybe he just kind of grew up that way.
Me and my manager have this talk all the time. It's like how some celebrities or some high-end people are assholes to like people that just want to say hi, give an autograph. I'm like, you have to remember, you're in the position where you are because those people paid for tickets to watch you or support you. So I get it. You can't say 100% of the time yes and do everything they want. But if there's like a little girl or something, it just takes 1 second to sign a piece of autograph. You should be thankful that you have that privilege to be able to do that and make what you are like. And
sure,
he's like, no,
because you're probably going to get knocked off that perch eventually, and then you're going to be wishing that people liked you a lot more than you did. But a guy that was just like you just said, from what I understand, was Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh used to run away from autographs. He hated it. Yeah. And I think he grew up obviously too. But
I still try to get his autograph. I have his rookie card. and I'm like, when he was coming to Winnipeg, I'm just like, okay, so the entrance here is where the bus comes, but you can't get close to that guy. Not a chance. So at least here in Winnipeg, and I want to get his autograph. But not unless I buy it. I'm not going to get him to sign anything. I'll never get to meet him probably. Very private guy. He doesn't like to be out in public. You're right. Doesn't do any signings or any touring or nothing.
Yeah,
like
some people just aren't like that.
Yeah. Like how many times freaking Glenn Hall or all of them do the old timers tours across Canada? Like, man, you can go and sit next to them and have a conversation if you wanted to. It's super easy.
Yeah, I mean, part of this is a reason we've talked about, like the whole Canadian team thing. I think there's a lot of players that just are very uncomfortable around people, and if they are known everywhere they go, it's not easy for them. And you can say you're making millions, suck it up, Buttercup, but really, like, I'm talking about serious anxiety issues, and people also just want to just relish the time that they can be with their family and not be bothered. Somebody, who was it, Clint Nickerson up here brought up
bullshit. They're in the position because they worked hard, which is true.
That. And also he said, no, this is the one I like. Approach at the right time. Like in Winnipeg, for instance, we were talking about how, like, we just had Stuart Skinner go to Winnipeg. Okay. We were talking about how Stuart Skinner was such a humble dude, right? Does he not seem like he'd be, if you were to package a Winnipegger and say, this is a Winnipegger, Stuart Skinner is that. He's perfect for Winnipeg. He's a very humble guy. He's a very respectful person, very happy person. I found people from Manitoba just like that. And what this fellow is saying, if you like to be in a town that's a hockey town and they respect you and your time and what you're doing and everything like that, they're not going to come up to you while you're having dinner, bother you over and over again. They're going to be very respectful of your time. Winnipeg is a place to go. So all the NHLers listening right now, and I know they all are. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? Remember this. Before you throw Winnipeg under the bus and put them on your NTC, if you want a place where people love hockey, you get to be in a hockey town there's a vibe to being in a hockey town that is extremely respectful to their players' time and period. And treat, even if you're having a bad time, you're not going to have Winnipeggers yelling at you across the street and saying stupid shit. They're going to respect you and put you kind of on a pedestal, actually. If you like that, Winnipeg is a place to go, man. It seriously is like that. If you really want a place where you can go around town, people respect you and know who you are, but still be revered for how good you are,
Yep.
and people like pour compliments on you, Winnipeg is where you want to be. It's very good that way. But then I would say on the opposite of that, not saying all people, because generally people are, but in Edmonton, you're going to find more assholes that will ask for autographs while you're sitting at dinner and yell at you across the freaking street when you're with your family and shit like that. There's a lot of labor guys there that are pretty crunchy and they don't mind saying what's on their mind.
Yeah, Clint, I agree. Like, approach at the right time. If somebody's coming up while you try and take a piss or something like that, I understand you being a little bit angry or something like that. But there's also times when it's just like, I just find players just like ignore that people are there wanting, like, you'll see how's the best way to explain this? I get it. They work hard and they made all that millions working hard. But again, you don't make those millions unless those people come to the game. Those people buy
Mhm.
your jersey and appreciate you as a player and support you. They supported you. I'm not saying that you have to sign all 200 people signing their autographs, but take the time to acknowledge they're there, thank them that they came out to see you and stuff like that. Like, those are the things. Those are the
Yeah,
values that everybody should have. I'm not
yeah.
saying you have to spend every single second with your fans and all that. Like, no, that's unrealistic. But I also think players, and not just in hockey, but in sports, but need to appreciate that more too, because you got the life that you had because these guys invested their time, money, and energy
I
in
think
you.
most hockey players are like that.
Yeah.
Very most. And not just that, like they visit children's hospitals. You hear lots of players that do all of those sort of things like that. And it's just there's always a bad apple or something like that in there. But on the same note, like people that it is, I don't care how much money you're making, it is tough to be recognized everywhere you go. And it is tough, especially if people don't respect your privacy a little bit.
Yeah.
It is tough. When you hear things like Marner's an eccentric dude. Let's get that right. He's eccentric. He's a different dude. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about that. He says awkward things. Like he probably wasn't made for Toronto with some of the things he says publicly and stuff like that. It's just probably wasn't made to be there. But it's not you. He's talking about like some really awful stuff that was done and people said, and like he had enough fear in him that he had to get security and all that kind of stuff like that. So
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's
that's too
that's terrible.
far.
That's terrible. And those are
Yeah.
not the majority of anybody, but you're going to have that more chance of that happening in a place like Toronto, Edmonton. I would say not Winnipeg, but in many cities because there's so many people that like hockey. So one of those people that are idiots probably like hockey. Whereas if you're in other places, there's not as much of a ratio of hockey fans, so it's less likely for that to happen, especially passionate ones. I've heard it all. This is, of course, our good friend and the Statmaster Jay. I've heard it all. Theo Fleury is the poster child for what an NHL Hall of Famer should be. I totally agree with you there, buddy. Totally agree with you. He's exactly what it should be. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah, you start advocating for Theo Fleury. Look at what Brady and Matthew did this year. They advocated for their dad all year. Their podcasts and media sounds like my dad. No reason why they shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And look what it did. Got him in this year. You got to
yeah,
get the word out. So, like, people that want Theo Fleury in there, which I think he does deserve it 110%, start advocating for him. Get his name out there. So, like, this guy should be in the Hall of Fame. And then they're going to listen and they're going to.
well, I already just did, so he's going to be in there next year for sure, of course.
There you go.
There you go. Just did it. But I think a lot of people may be afraid to do that because of his political leanings. I'm not one of those people. I don't care what your political leanings are.
The
And it
Hockey Hall of
shouldn't
Fame
matter
doesn't
whether
matter
you
about.
go to. It's not even leanings. He's had a YouTube channel that has been very abrupt about what he believes and all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, but that shouldn't have nothing to do with anything, and that's what I really don't. That just doesn't sit well with me. That when you're talking about a Hall of Fame and about a sport, that should not have anything to do with anything.
Oh, you don't think?
Oh, he was not agreeing with me. Sorry. I should go
Oh,
into
wow.
concussion profile for not. He's not. He doesn't agree with me. Okay. All right.
Why would Theo
You
Fleury
have to
not
come
be a
on
Hall of
and say
Famer?
that. I don't know why you would say that. Like for his play on the ice, why would you say that?
That's
No,
yeah, I would
I have no
like
idea.
he's not in the Hall of Fame, so technically we're wrong at this point, going by that. But I definitely think he deserves to be
Absolutely, based on his play
compared
on the
to
ice,
compared to
with
some other
nothing
players that have
else,
gone in. Yeah, 100%.
with nothing else in mind but the play in his the play on the ice. That's it. He hasn't did. I don't think anything illegal. Well, he has. He's did drugs and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, and he's admitted to it.
But still, I don't get you. I think that he is exactly what a Hall of Famer should be. High offensive, hardworking, everything player. I mean, he's exactly what should be in there. As far as I could tell, he overcame addiction. He overcame a whole lot of things to go with that. That should not have anything to do with why he's in the Hall of Fame. It's simply what he does on the ice. That's all. If you did something terrible illegally and whatever, I suppose that kind of character outside of the ice may have to apply here. But besides that, I don't understand why. Maybe he'll write a big message on there or something.
The link's up above. Join in with audio. Do on camera.
Yeah, I mean, I already sent it. Yeah, you can join me on there.
5, 6 and shorter.
No, nothing to do with his size.
If anything,
Look,
that's another reason why you should be in the Hall of Fame. Look what he did at that height
uh, yeah,
in
I
a
mean,
league where it was like rough and tough and
he's
players
talking about
destroyed each
on the
other.
ice. He's talking about
Yeah.
literally on the ice. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Is it because he's never won any awards, I guess? Is that why you don't think maybe because he never won anything? But I think in my mind, like all the stuff that he went through and the heart. Yeah, he was an all-star.
1,088 points in 1,084 games.
And a Stanley Cup. He won a Stanley Cup.
He won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, he just didn't win any scoring titles or anything, but
He had a career point a game. He was a point a game career player.
yeah. I wonder if anybody's done an interview with Theo Fleury and asked him, why do you think you're not in the Hall of Fame? If not, that would be an interesting one, just like a documentary on that. So I know he's done documentaries, but I don't know about asking him to. It's all opinions. Like,
He took you out of your seat.
what?
He's a
Oh, Theo
player that would
Fleury?
take you out of your seat. He was that good.
Yeah.
200-point season, 140 goal season, 146 goal season. Yeah.
Yeah, I
How many?
agree.
151 goal season, 230s. Like, I don't see why you're not putting him in the Hall of Fame. 455 goals. Who's not?
More points in less games and has a cup. It's in the end, it's oh, I'm by myself now. See, I kicked Pearlo out. It's just me now. I love Fleury's a hall of good players, but not in the same category as Gretzky, Lemieux, or Howe. No, definitely not in that category. But when you look at all the people that have been inducted, like, do you say a Matt Sundin or Daniel Alfredsson should be inducted over Theo Fleury, and why? Like, those are similar type of players. Theo Fleury has a cup, similar point totals. I I think I agree with Keith Tkachuk. He was a founder of that game of that era, and he was dominating at that time. Like, he was a star player. So I think 100% Big Walt should be in the Hall of Fame, but his time should have came sooner. But just this year, like I said, Brady and Matthew, they advocated hard for him this year. Like, if you listen to the podcast, there's always a snippet somewhere of them saying, "Yeah, and you're not in the Hall of Fame. My dad's the best player in the world. Like, was the best player in that era, like one of the best players, and how is he not in the Hall of Fame?" And talked about it, and look, there you go. He's in the Hall of Fame now. That's players have to advocate for themselves to get in the Hall of Fame. Lots of drives that go on. Like when Alfredsson got put in the Hall of Fame, he missed the first 2 years, I think it was, and then I'm running the show. Oh no.
Oh, there you are. I was just looking. Didn't he play mostly in the clutch and grab years too?
Theo Fleury? Oh,
yeah.
He played with Big Walt basically in the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like, if Big Walt is a hockey Hall of Famer, then Theo Fleury should be. He was not as good as Big Walt for point wise, but what he had to overcome and do, like, it was a lot harder for him compared to Keith Tkachuk. So I give him props on that 100%.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's all opinion. It's everybody has an opinion, and everybody has the right to opinion. So you can argue one way or the other, and both are technically right, because you can compare him to other players that are in the Hall of Fame and say, yeah, why shouldn't he be in the Flame? And then also, he's not in the Hall of Fame right now. So it's like, you can make arguments both ways, and both sides are right, technically.
Well, based on what I see, players that go in, and just eye test alone, I mean, he was a what was it? Okay, I had him up here. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, 1990. Yeah, he played all through, exactly through the clutch and grab years at a point a game. Give me a break. Come on. With a point a game in the clutch and grab years, you are a Hall of Famer. And you won a cup. For sure, you're a Hall of Famer. No doubt about it.
And he was feisty too. That's what I love about Theo Fleury. He
You
was
would've-
right in the thick of everything. He's a point per game
He was a
player, and he
character,
freaking always have lots of.
Yeah, for sure. And he started and ended in the clutch and grab years. Like, he played all the way through it as a 5'6" player, which is amazing in itself. And he got a point a game or over a point a game.
Yeah,
that's, I don't know how you say that he's not a Hall of Famer. If he would have played more in Gretzky's era, like in the 80s and stuff like that, how many points would he have got? He would have easily been in the Hall of Fame. No question. No question.
Yeah, one thing we didn't talk with Ovechkin back. So he's going to play this year. Well, how many goals this year do you think? Because what is he, like 79 away from the record or something, or 76, something like that?
Yeah.
From 1,000. So if he puts up a solid 30-goal season, do you think he plays next year? If you're that close and you're healthy?
I
Face
was
still
really sure he was going to play this year because like everybody kept on going to shake his hand and stuff, and he kept on going like that. I was like, oh, he's not retiring. But I don't know with Ovi. He
if he
knows.
has a really good year.
I could see him. I could see him keep on playing and playing, and I could see him retiring. I could see either one. I could see either one. I think it completely depends on how he feels that he is competing at, and if he feels he's competing at a level that is satisfactory to him, then he'll keep on playing.
I think this year he's gonna score a lot more because look at the cast they have in Washington. He can go now and stand on the one circle in the power play, do shit all, and just wait for the pass. Like,
well, he always did.
he always
Yeah, I
did.
mean, I don't think he's going to get the. I don't think he's going to get the minutes this year, though.
He had to work harder for it this year. Like, you could see when like the year before and this year when he was playing, like he was working hard to get those goals. Like he was skating like slow, but he was back checking and everything. So he was trying to do a little bit more this year. So I'm like, he's still got a little fire in him.
I think he's playing. He's not going to get as many minutes.
No, he's gonna be a third line player, first power. He's gonna get his power play minutes.
And I will never. There are players like that. There are players that I will never bet against to do whatever they're going to do, and that's one. As far as goal scoring is concerned, Ovi, I will never bet against whatever he could do. Never.
How many people?
It's like Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby to me is one of the top 5 leaders of all time. Where you want to put the leaders, I don't know, but he's incredible. I'll never. It's not true. I bet against him. If there's any player that I've lost more money against, is because of Sidney Crosby.
Yeah,
that guy can get a team going in the right direction, and I just saw like his work ethic and how he gets everybody motivated to also go that direction with him, and everything he does. No way Pittsburgh should be making the playoffs last year, and I know Muse should get credit for that, but no coach I don't think will ever get Coach of the Year with Sidney Crosby there. I wonder if he coaches after his career is over or something. He could be like Brindamore.
I see him more of as a GM because he's super competitive and very smart. So I don't see him as a coach. I see him more of a chess player. So like a GM kind of things. Like
I could see it. I could see him doing whatever he wants to do.
Like, I could see him as like Rod Brindamore, like being in the gym and that, but I could also see him like a kind of like a Bill Guerin also.
Or Joe Sakic, or who's the best ex-player general manager right now? Mm-hmm. Who's ex-player general manager? What do you have? You have Stevie Y, Joe Sakic, Bill Guerin. Am I missing?
List of NHL GMs. Let's see.
That's an easier way to do it than go down Puckpedia and do it by head.
Okay, yeah. Pat Verbeek, Don Sweeney, Jarmo Kekalainen, Craig Conroy. Calgary, he's just new though. Eric Tuski was not a player. Kyle Davidson, not a player. Joe Sakic, Don Waddell. Bill Zito.
Don Waddell didn't play all that much though.
Bill Zito.
Bill Zito, but I forgot he even played. So
yeah, I think he played. Yeah. Chris Jury.
How much did he play?
I don't know.
Bill Zito would be the guy for sure.
Let's see.
But like guys that played a lot,
like the 60s, right? Oh no, 8. He didn't play.
No, not that far
back. Oh no, he didn't play in the NHL. I thought he did.
He didn't.
He played NCAA.
So.
Yale University, and then.
So I'm talking about ex-NHL players, and specifically ones that played like a lot, Sakic, Eiserman,
Bill Armstrong. No,
Karen played a lot.
Julian Beesbrod. Yeah, it was not like Mike Greer. Like,
Mike Greer.
He's looking.
Give him time. He might be the guy. He played quite a bit. He played enough that
And
I
then
could say that's a
big balls Danny Briere right now.
Danny Briere. Can't forget that.
Steve Stais, brand new one, but he played. Matthew Darsh.
Yeah.
Chris Drury, yeah.
Yeah, Darsh played. That's right. I forgot about that. A lot of them did, yeah.
Yeah, the only guy that I think the best GM of all time is probably Scotty Bowman, and he never played an NHL game.
Best GM and coach of all time. Both. Incredible hockey mind. Nobody wants to talk to him now. The only person time he goes on is with Pierre McGuire. I listen to it all the time. I don't know why. They think he's too old school or something. But I whenever he's going to be on that sick podcast, I always listen.
Yeah, the big ones, like I don't mind some of the big ones. So like Spitting Chicklets, I love watching some of those episodes. And I see somebody on, I'm like, oh, I got to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
I love their podcast because it's just like there's nothing to hold back. They'll say whatever they want. Some of them, I don't like the professional podcasts where you're just doing like media kind of like answers and media questions. Those things are just like, what's the point? It's just wasting my time.
The ones trying not to have too much of an opinion so they don't piss anybody off. Obviously I'm not in that camp.
Yeah. Like, here's the pre-approved list questions you can ask me, and that's it. Where the other ones are like, ask you whatever.
The ones that are saying things like, but is that going to be? I don't know. They say that a million times. Instead of actually having an opinion, they'll just, they just talk around every topic to the point where you have to make up your own mind. That's pretty much what it is. Not my favorite. People like it, though. Good for you. I don't want to shit on anybody for whatever you like, but
I like the real stories. I like the Mike Commodore. It doesn't matter what show he's on. He's like, I'm giving you R-rated, full frontal.
I don't even like Mike Commodore, Rhett Warner. There's a bunch of guys out there. I don't even agree with everything they say. Some of them I don't even agree with most of what they say, but at least they have an opinion. I like listening to people have an opinion, especially if I don't agree with them, because I may change my mind because of things that they say.
I love Mike Commodore. Babcock.
He gets on.
Fuck him. Fuck that.
Oh, he became a social media icon because of his hate for Babcock. That's why people know him. It's his hate for Babcock. Oh yeah, he can't stand him. Never could stand him. Said he ruined his career.
Oh, I just loved it because he's like, I can't fucking shake this guy. I start in the NHL. I'm fucking in Anaheim, and here's Babcock throwing me in the minors, fucking me over, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna get traded to Detroit, but Babcock's there. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay, Mike. Bab said that he's fine with you. He's looking forward to you. He sees the need for you on the team. Gets traded to Detroit. Fucks Commodore over again. Benches him and all this. Just like, I just loved how Commodore's like, Babcock, fuck that guy. Oh, and Pearlo.
I just lost my camera.
Your signal faded.
I just lost my camera. Oh, there we go. Got it. Got back again. But I think we've gone. Is there any news today that you want to drop in? Something that you've been thinking about that's going on? I've heard that Pittsburgh was trying to be in on Robertson. I think Robertson signs the 1 year and then signs with Dallas next year. Oh, I could talk about that. I posted this on Twitter. I think what happened here is Jim Nill used this opportunity to find out. Between the two of them, they found out what the market was for him. He always intended to sign with Dallas next year, but needed more cap space. So they're probably gonna work at a deal for a 1 year or go to arbitration, take that 1 year, and then sign after. That's what I think is going to happen.
We don't need to go to arbitration.
But Jim Nill took the opportunity to find out what general managers were willing to part with while they were going through the process too. I think he used that as an opportunity to get information out there about players and who might be available.
But
that's what I think happened.
Multiple people are reporting that there was an offer on the table to go with Seattle.
Right. So he got to find out what Seattle's willing to give up for players.
And so
Now there's a rumor going out that his dad was the one that canceled the thing or whatever. I don't know. Matt Robinson from the Ice Guys, or was from the Ice Guys. He mentioned it to me that that was the case.
parents like, we're not going to Seattle.
I think there was lots of offers. That one just came out because it was 15 million, and they turned it down. There's so many things I think could go on in the background in this if they're both in on it together. One of the things they're doing is going, when he signs with Dallas, it's going to just give him more love because he turned down the 15 million, and then he ends up signing in Dallas next year for 14. So there's a lot of things that I think behind the scenes that are happening that happens. I really feel in my gut that he's staying in Dallas next year. I really do.
I think it's possible. It's a lot of theories, but I think it's more or less he's worth more than Mikko Rantanen. And if Dallas isn't offering more than Mikko Rantanen is what he's getting, he's like, I've been here through the thick and skin of it. I started off, I went through the bad times, I'm here for the good times. I'm like, I'm worth more than Mikko Rantanen. If you gave him 12 and a half after being here for 20 games in playoffs, then I'm worth more. I think it just comes down to that.
What's a good way to get around that without offending Rantanen if it offends him? And if it does, that really is a poor character problem. But if it is going to offend him, what's a good way to get around that?
Why do you think he didn't sign in Colorado?
Yeah, but what's a good way to get around not offending Rantanen and getting more money than him?
You don't give a shit. You just like,
yeah. No, you go to arbitration.
I guess.
If an arbitrator says it, then too bad. You that's the arbitrator. I just do what the arbitrator said. Sorry, dude. That's it. This is a great way to get around it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Now the manager's not giving it to you. He's fighting it. And you're trying to get more, and you're only doing what's good for your family. Say, okay, let's go to an arbitrator and see what an arbitrator says. Arbitrator says more. Rantanen can't say anything because they went to arbitration, and the arbitrator found that that's what he deserved. So it takes both of them out of the equation, and the arbitrator is the one that did it. Boom! Good move.
In the end, like I know you don't agree with me, but in the end, but I said Jason Robertson's a top 10 forward in the league, so he should be getting paid as a top 10 forward too.
I think he's pushing that. Yeah, I think he's a great player. He deserves 14 million. I'm terrible that way because I think everybody deserves whatever they can get.
Everybody needs 14 million. we only have 90 million in cap. But we pay this guy.
Carlson makes more than this guy and makes more than this guy. If you are a Carlson away from winning a cup, if you're a Philadelphia, how much is it worth to the Philadelphia Flyers, who will likely never get a Carlson? Because they're not going to be all of these Carlson players. Carlson was a 3rd overall pick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Celebrini, first overall pick? McDavid, first overall pick. McKinnon, all of these elite centers were top 3 picks. Philadelphia is never going to see that. So how much is it worth to him, to them? I don't care what all the other players in the league make. 18 million is going to give us a cup. I'm paying 18 million. I don't care what everybody else makes.
But
doesn't matter.
JD just said arbitration is not something that players generally like to do. It can get really nasty.
Yeah. But if you're working together on something like this, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
He's going to talk shit. Okay, yeah, you talk shit, whatever, go back and forth. I think this is correlated between the two of them. I think this is working out in their favor.
Yeah,
it's a good way to get around the whole I get paid more than Rantanen.
Jason Robertson definitely deserved to be on that team, on Team USA. There was others.
Yeah,
there was biased on what they wanted there, which I understand.
Who went over him? Like Larkin's a center, you can kind of make a case, but who else?
Let me see.
Because I don't get too caught up in that international stuff.
I got to see the roster again, so I know.
when they're making a team like that, they have different reasons why they do what they do.
Well, yeah, it depends
too.
on the general manager and stuff like too, is because they'll have bias on what they want. It's like
Well, let's
look
put
at
it
the
this
World
way.
Junior team like 2 years ago for Canada. They left off like the top 5 best players because they're trying to pull a Herb Brooks. We're not looking for the best one. We're looking for the right ones. Finish freaking 7th.
Yeah,
It's like
they would go to arbitration if they needed to find a way that the general manager didn't give Robertson over the money that Rantanen did to get.
if you go by this
If they
theory,
wanted
that
to
would
make
be
it look
that
like
would make sense. Yes.
the arbitrator did it, not me. I didn't do it. I fought to try to get whatever. He can get out of all of that nonsense just by going to arbitrator. Arbitrator gave him that. Nobody can argue. And I think that could very well be a friction thing in that room. There could very well be that. I don't know. I would hope not. That sounds like immaturity to me, but could very well be. I'm not in those rooms. But if it is, this is a great way to get around it. Arbitrator did it. It's a great way to get around it.
It's smart. Is that what's happening? It's possible.
I think it's very possible.
But yeah, I still think it's I don't go that far into the crazy rumor thing or scenario thing, but I think it's just he's been there longer than Rantanen, and in theory he's a better player point wise, been there longer, so he should be getting paid a little bit more than Rantanen.
I've heard story over. So why are you worried about it then? If you're not worried about paying him more money because of Rantanen, why are you worried about it then? Just do it, right? That's the way you could go around it. I don't know what Rantanen's view of this or anything. Also, I hear that there's a whole bunch of stuff in behind the scenes with the union that has to do with this stuff. But if there was going to be any friction because Robertson gets paid more, meaning that Robertson's better than Rantanen in that room or in anything, going to an arbitrator solves that right away because the general manager didn't pick him.
Time served does mean something if you committed to that team, 100%. It's just like if you've been with a company for 10 years, you know the outs and ins, you've been there, you know exactly how the company works, and then a guy comes in and then 20 days later is making more, or sorry, not 20 days, 20 games, but say 5 months later is making more than you and you do the same job, you'd be kind of pissed, like, right? Most people would be. It's like, I've been here, I worked my way from the bottom, from being drafted all the way to the top here, top line player for you, and you bring in this guy and you trade him, which I appreciate because he's a great tool and weapon to have on our team, but then I'm not worth as much as him, or I'm the same value as him. 100%.
Flat out right now, I don't care what anybody says. I take Robertson over Rantanen all day long.
I take Jason Robertson too.
All day long.
I like Mikko Rantanen. I think he's a beast in the playoffs. But
he can be.
I think Robertson makes anybody Robertson makes anybody on his line look better. Whether it's
overall game, everything, I take Robertson all day long. And we were gonna say who went on Team USA and instead of Robertson. I know Trocheck, well, not Trocheck, Miller did. Robertson's, I bet he's a center. I'll give it that. I don't think he played center though. Robertson's a better player than Miller. All day long. Why is Miller there? Why is Trocheck there?
All right, so we got to look at Matt Boldy. Here's the first one. Robertson's better.
Boldy's great.
Robertson's better than Boldy.
Boldy's not better than Robertson right now. I love Boldy.
Kyle Connor.
Not better than Robertson.
Kyle Connor, I think, is
Kyle Connor not better than Robertson.
Not better, but he has goal scoring attributes which he'd want on the team. So Jack Eichel, better than Robertson.
He's not better than Robertson.
Jack Eichel. That's
who?
Jack Eichel.
Jack Eichel, yeah, he's a center. He's a shutdown guy. Yeah, of course, yeah. That's
Jake Gensel. I'd take Robertson 100 times over Gensel.
Close. I think it's close. He's underrated. Obviously
Jack
not
Hughes.
underrated. Yeah.
Well,
no, sorry, you're right. Yeah, I would take Robertson over Gensel. Yeah.
Jack Hughes.
Jack Hughes is a center.
Yeah, he's a center, so it doesn't really there.
But he plays center. But he plays center. Clayton Keller, really good player, actually.
Clayton Keller, really good player.
But he plays center. 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 But
I'd put
Still take
Robertson
over
over
Keller.
him. Dylan Larkin, center, but
Still like
Austin Matthews, I'll
I
give
love
him.
Larkin, but Robertson, yeah.
JT
absolutely.
Miller.
So why isn't he on this team? Why is he JT Miller for sure, Robertson over JT.
Brock Nelson.
For sure. Brock Nelson, yeah, for sure, Robertson. But then you're talking different positions again, but still.
Tage Thompson, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, Vincent Trocheck.
Okay, Matthew and Brady. Matthew and Brady are their brothers. It's like a twin combination. But individually speaking, is when everybody knows I love me some Tkachuks, Robertson over Brady all day. Maybe not Matthew, but Brady for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna roast JD. Who's Robertson's best center he's ever played with? Who's the best center Robertson's ever played with? Hintz is great.
Yeah.
But
he's not great. He's good.
He's good, but
he's overrated.
If you get guys like that are playing with these top tier centermen, and Robertson's can still produce 80, 90 points. Like if you look at the points, I haven't even looked it up. I can guarantee if you look at the points in the last 5 years, Robertson is here and all the other players are down here. Like Robertson's the one that drives the line.
When you look at all those wingers, what role is Robertson not able to play that they can? He's an elite shutdown winger that can score 40 goals
and drive play.
He's better at everything than all of them.
Yeah. I love
So what role can he not play?
If you put Jason Robertson next to a Nathan McKinnon or even a Connor McDavid, that guy could score 140 points.
Oh, I don't even. You put that would be just stupid.
Like
I don't know what his points total.
Jason Robertson can skate with Connor McDavid, and then he could.
He's not super fast, but he's super smart. He's like Stone in a lot of ways, but faster. I don't know. Maybe it's a personality thing because he does seem kind of like really laid back and almost beach-like. Maybe it's something to do with that, but I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think Roberts.
He's the elite shutdown winger. Oh, give me a break. What are you talking about? Holy smokes. You're just listening to what other people say here.
No, he's definitely good.
Oh, above average. He was three years ago. He didn't hold on to his elite status this year, but he's still 80% above replacement for a guy who scored how many goals? 40-some. He's incredible.
Averaged 90 points last 4 seasons. Average, and Rupe Hintz is your centerman, and Tyler Seguin when he's healthy, and when he's in the lineup, Seguin's kind of like.
He played against slightly lower competition than maybe a guy like Marner does. But actually, last year,
what's
Marner
his PK
didn't
time?
Do that. No, he doesn't play PK.
Doesn't play any PK. Okay, so he's on.
He doesn't have to. They've got good PKers there. He shouldn't be using.
That makes sense.
Players.
He's the guy.
You shouldn't be playing 5-on-5 players like him on the PK. If you do, then you have a PK problem.
Then you
should be able to get guys to play the PK.
Yeah.
Like McDavid should not be playing PK. Stupid.
No.
Why would
or
you
Draisaitl. Those are the guys you want on the ice together right after.
And
they
are playing. They do play PK because they haven't. Now that they have Dickinson, they don't have to as much, which is good.
See, that's why I think Edmonton should sign Lazar, because Lazar is really good defensively and can play PK. I think they should get him back, but give him the role. And Curtis Lazar wants to be there in Edmonton too. He's all Edmonton. But if not, if Ottawa had to move, like you said in the thing for Holiday in a first or something to try and get Tippett and Hells and Hensler or whatever, then I would sign Lazar in a heartbeat to be the fourth line centerman in a heartbeat.
40-goal scorer, 80% above replacement against pretty much elite competition, just below They had enough depth that they could match up his lines, which is good. That is pretty elite.
He's had a lot of chances, but
I don't think
you look
that's like Marner
if
level.
you look at Lazar when he was in Boston, great fourth line player. And you watched him in Buffalo, he played decent. And Edmonton, he just didn't get a shot. Again, you're double shifting McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah, but Lazar's not. I agree with JD on this one. Lazar's not very good, but he's every bit as good as Sissons. Sissons just got $4 million. He's better than Sissons. He's not very good, but he's better than Sissons. And Sissons just got $4 million a year. At least Lazar's only getting $1 million. Sissons is horrible.
Yeah.
He plays against super low competition, and he just got $4 million from Toronto. This is an analytics guy. An analytics guy gave Sissons $4 million a year. Roslovich, 4.5. That's retarded. It's ridiculous. You can't tell me you're it is as good as the information being inputted, and there's nobody that there's nobody. I take that information and input it very well, thanks, extremely well, no doubt about it.
No,
it is as good as it's being inputted, but the cards are input as well. The cards are input if they are good. There is crap analytics out there, no doubt about it. I use model after model after model after model until I found these.
Yep.
And you do have to apply it with context, absolutely. But Colton Sissons, no doubt about it. I don't even need a card. I can just watch Colton Sissons. I don't need cards. I can just watch it. I don't know what the heck that guy does. He must be an incredible character player. Definitely on the Jaime's list, no doubt about that. He must be an amazing room guy. Amazing. Yes, he is defensively responsible. He plays a good 3-zone defense.
Let's pull up Fiala's card.
The thing about guys like Fiala is he doesn't block a lot of shots, so people think he's not good defensively.
Look what happens when he blocks shots.
That's why I say 3-zone.
Breaks his leg and he's out.
That's why I say 3-zone. Blocking shots is one aspect. You can block a shit ton of shots and be terrible defensively.
You could be Mitch Marner and blocking a shot in Game 5 and making it look like he did it on purpose. He wasn't trying to get out of the way of the shot.
Yeah, and he's still a very good defensive player.
Very good.
Mitch Marner's a good example of a guy that is a very good defensive player.
Didn't Mitch Marner say in the interview, I just tried to get in front of the shot, and then you play the thing back, and he's like, oh, the shot's coming.
So what Fiala's really good at is he knows how to get a shot away without putting himself too deep. He never gets caught in the offensive zone. He's very good. He's very smart at making sure he's in position to get back to his neutral zone spot. And that is just as solid of a defensive play as anything you do in the defensive end. Heyman Sissons 10 points will be huge for the Leafs. Rico, yeah.
They're going to be maybe shorthanded points and make plays some penalty kill. 10 points on the PK. Maybe a couple 5-on-5 when Matthews gets double shifted with them or something.
Fiala. Yeah, I mean, he's certainly not elite, but against above average competition, Fiala's good. Is he an elite shutdown guy? No. Is he a shutdown guy? Yeah. He's not elite.
Isn't Fiala really fast too? So he can cover up a lot of his mistakes that way too. If he makes a mistake, he can skate back, get back in it.
Right. He played against lower comp. If you played him against elite comp, probably his numbers don't look so good. I'll give you that. But he's still good.
What was the guy in Minnesota that signed again? That started this fourth line $4 million bullshit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was pretty bad.
What? I can't think of the name right.
It's better than Sissons though. Yeah, it's McCarron.
McCarron, yeah.
McCarron.
McCarron.
Yeah.
It's like, are you sure? $4 million total or $4 million a year? What?
$4.5 million because he went hard to the net in the playoffs.
Maybe Bill Guerin accidentally made a mistake on the contract. They looked at it and like, yep, sign this right now. 4 million,
Yeah.
or not 4 million per, 4 million total.
Yeah. But if he's played on the fourth line, it's
Karen,
fine.
that's what it was.
Yeah, it's not good, but I think Anaheim did better with Greer.
Well, his defense
Anaheim did
is
better
at least at 53% even strength.
Yeah, he's still like just a barely.
What is this?
Minor, but he had an uptick. He had a really good uptick last year, defensively. So.
No, he's not high.
Yeah. The Jaime's team. Yeah.
No, you have to be at least the top
But
six.
how did we get started on this? Oh, that was the old Raw. We were talking about Robertson and what he was going to do.
Yeah.
I really think that he wants to stay in Dallas. I really think that. He knows that he's got to wait one more year to get to. Otherwise, you're going to have to trade more players.
Well, JD just made a comment. Let's see. What's his let's see. I like using Money Puck because it does.
Well, yeah, but these are the same people that thought it was a good idea to play Spence 5 minutes in the playoffs, and that they should trade him to Ottawa for a second-round pick.
So they got Cody Ceci. There's problems resolved.
Not one person in LA went up and said, I should strangle you for what you're doing right now. Not one person in LA said this. That was absolutely diabolically bad. Like, come on. When's the last they got Fiala? Like, they've made like terrible moves. That was a point. There's only one person there that thought it was a bad idea. I hope you're wrong. I hope these people that are saying that for every one play he makes two bad ones are also the same ones that were saying that was fucking ridiculous what we just did. And many of the other things that they're doing. Well, I watch a divorce-worthy amount of hockey. I believe last year he did have a downturn, though. No, he stayed about even. 2 years ago, he was almost like 80% above replacement. But again, he's against 60% competition, so he's not playing against elites a lot, but still doing well. And when I watch it, I see it. His main defensive ability is that he doesn't put himself out of position in the offensive zone. And he's always in his spots in the neutral zone. Is he stellar in the D zone? Yeah, I would say probably not. But that's only one zone. That's why I always say 3 zone. Because you can make up for some problems you may have in the D zone. Like Bouchard is a terrible one-on-one defenseman. He's terrible at it. Okay? So eye test wise, he looks horrible in those situations, and people notice that a lot because you're one-on-one. Overall, Bouchard is a very good defensive defenseman because there's more to defense than what you do in certain situations in the D zone. They butchered the Spence situation. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
No, they didn't. They did amazing.
They did amazing, yeah. I hope the people that are telling you that Fiala is just one mistake after another or whatever and can't see what he does in all 3 zones for defensive ability, I hope they weren't the ones agreeing with the Spence thing because that was absolutely ridiculous. And it wasn't just that. There's many things.
Let's see.
But I think I got to go. What is it? Oh, yeah. Is it 1 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, I think it's time. I think that's our full 42, my friends. I love it when you're on, JD. Love you, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Thanks, everybody, for coming on. Whoever they are. Rico, we got to go way back here. Jordan, everybody that's on. We'll be doing this more because this is we should call this the I Don't Got a Life NHL Network. I do have a life, though. This is my life. It just doesn't appear to be a life to everybody else. I want to get rid of this before I go. Hide. How do I hide? There we are.
I'm hoping this Claude Giroux thing is done tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he's waiting on Ottawa. I don't know. It's not Phil. I think he might have been going to Philadelphia, and then all that stuff's happened. He's not going to Philly now.
Somebody made a point I saw. Somebody made a point I saw, and it's like the longer this takes, the better it looks for Ottawa, because if he was really committed to leaving Ottawa, going somewhere else, he would have just done it. It would have been done.
Mm-hmm.
So the longer this takes, the better chance Ottawa has getting him back. So
I think it's about a little bit about a money issue. Ottawa might be lowballing him a bit, and he's just.
Well, it's probably all bonus, added bonuses. Keep the cap low so they have cap flexibility and give him bonuses.
He's probably could get the same bonuses in Edmonton, but he's going to play with Draisaitl or McDavid, so he's going to hit way bigger bonuses. Where if he's in Ottawa, he's probably going to play lower down the lineup, right?
I think a couple of people said he's out. Edmonton's out now.
Oh, okay.
It's not going there. It's just between Ottawa and Philly, it sounds like now, and maybe Toronto. They're talking with Toronto, but
I'm not surprised about Edmonton. Yeah, because it's just hard to move your family all out west there like that. He's a big family guy, obviously, right? So
yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming in. Catch you next time. I'm sure this is the summer of news, so we'll probably see more of it. Talk to you next time on today. It's Pearlo and Larry's NHL Hockey Talk Frolic. Tomorrow